Yeah, happy Friday. We are back. You got mass deportations weren't just vibes. Brett Cooper.
Now, guys, there were plenty of things that I did not like about the Biden administration. But you know what I didn't do? I didn't go topless in the streets with all of my obese friends. Now, unfortunately for us, the same thing cannot be said for Antifa and all of the left-wing activists in Portland this weekend. And guys, if I had to see the videos, so do you. Now, before we dive into this story, and make sure that you like this video and subscribe to our channel if you've not already. And as a reminder, we have a new show schedule. So starting today, it is Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Saturday. So make sure you ring that notification bell and set your reminders. I've seen some comments and had people ask like, Brett, what do you mean you just had a baby like a month ago? Why are you doing 4 episodes? Guys, I am so excited to get back to this. I am so excited to do more of this. And granted, you know, the baby is napping right now. He is having uninterrupted time with his grandma, which he is very, very excited about.
And I'm excited about you subscribing to my channel too, as well as Brett's. If you're not already, her channel is linked down in the description. Well, this video, and then you can find her channel there. But same thing. Anywho, let's get right into it.
But I am so blessed to genuinely
I've seen some of the pictures she was talking about, so I know the craziness we're in for.
To get back to, and it's something that I can literally do in the room next door. And so I'm so excited, and I had the opportunity to up the number of episodes that I was doing, and so I took the opportunity. Anyway, I am super excited, so yeah, make sure that you hit that notification bell. All right, let's dive into this because I saw an absolutely insane sitcom-worthy headline this morning. Like, genuinely, I feel like I go back and forth between what sitcom I believe we're living in. Sometimes I think it's, you know, Parks and Rec when it's a little bit more wholesome. Sometimes I think it's Veep. There are sometimes, though, when I genuinely feel like we are living in Arrested Development. Something that is so asinine, so crazy, and that is what is happening in Portland right now. So, this headline is from Fox 12 Portland, and it reads, "Latest updates. Portlanders rally for and against ICE after quote-unquote emergency naked bike ride." Did you ever think you would hear those words? Emergency naked bike ride? No! I don't think I ever want to read them again. I really don't want to know what that means. That's a lie. I obviously want to know what that means. And I logged onto Twitter, and don't worry, the videos were there. So, my friends, avert your eyes or not, but here are the naked bike riders rolling into Portland to
Turn your kids away if they're watching.
protest ICE. Scooters as well.
Yeah.
I mean, it's like horrifying.
Yep. And the fact that it's raining makes it all the worse.
Oh my God. It's like...
These people... This is, I guess, the least part, because there's a good banana, so, okay. These people are insane. These people are absolutely bonkers retarded. I don't know any other words than retarded to describe these people. They are super stupid. I hope none of them have children and none of them breed ever. Because stinking camera. Because, you know, that would be a tragedy for the entire planet if these people breed and pass their stupid genes down to their kids and don't let their kids be educated outside of their own stupid echo chambers of the parents who, yeah, let's face it, we don't want these people in our society.
Genuinely, every clip is worse than the one before. Like when the person right in front of the camera decides to dismount his bike, his parka raises up and you're like, oh my God, you have nothing underneath you. The people just scrolling by on the scooters, everything hanging out. Like genuinely, what do you think you are doing? Anyway, they all flocked.
I have no idea how all of these people are not arrested for public nudity. Is it just the you can't arrest us all mentality? Because if so, that's pretty fucking stupid.
To Portland to do this protest. Apparently this is a thing. By the way, there is a yearly naked bike ride protest for the climate. Apparently, that has been going on since 2000, but this year it's happening in Portland, or all of the people came to Portland and they are directing their protesting towards ICE instead of the climate. I don't even know what's going on.
Sure.
They did not just roll through the streets. They also did a naked live.
You know, the last event that I had for a bike ride happened here in my town of Grand Rapids. It happened in 2012 when a whole bunch of seniors rode their bikes to high school for senior prank day on their last day of school. They, did hold up some traffic. There was a few delays, but you had people complaining and then the principal just suspended everybody for the day who rode their bike, and so there was like a couple dozen seniors just chilling in the school that day that were like, what the fuck we do? My older brother was one of the guys who was just like, I didn't even know what was going on, I just showed up. And he didn't even realize it. But yeah, he got to school, sat down, and then everybody else got suspended with their bikes and sent home, and it's like, oh, well, that was weird. It was just a bike ride, guys. But the thing here, everybody was clothed. They had the mayor of the city at the time involved in the bike ride, too. They did everything correct. These guys are just crazy nudists who really could potentially be labeled as predators, pedophiles. I mean, there's definitely children who saw some things that day that they shouldn't have, and parents who had to explain things. That's definitely certain. There's zero doubt that they did.
In the middle of the streets to block traffic, and you can watch it right here.
Yeah, this one was nuts too. I saw this.
Now, a passerby might go, they're not even protesting, they're all just so fat that they needed to take a nap after biking the entire way.
I mean, climbing on the bike is the most exercise all of them have had, so getting on and actually trying to pedal, because I don't see many electric bikes in that crowd. They're at least they're actually riding and not cheating. But yeah, this is just fucking embarrassing. I love Florida laws that say you can run these people over if they get in your fucking way and threaten you.
Way to Portland, but no, in fact, they are lying fully nude on a bridge, blocking roads for the illegal aliens. I just want to know, like, what do the illegals think about all of this? Like, they're watching all of this transpire. Are they sitting back in their homes?
At least these ones. At least these two in the pink and blue on the sidewalk here on the left. At least those two are in costumes and they appear to be out of the fucking road. So to those two in particular, you get a good clap. Good job. Everybody else gets one of those.
About all of this, like they're watching all of this transpire. Are they sitting back?
Okay, and the lady in black. She can take a good girl point too.
Supporting us.
They're not in the road.
For us to stay in this country illegally, or are they going, oh my God, maybe I should deport myself. Maybe I should download that app and leave because this is so incredibly grotesque and embarrassing. I don't even think I can be in this country anymore. Like, maybe.
Yeah, I wish every illegal would download that app and actually just crash the server of it, to be honest, because there's so many who want to go the fuck home, get their $1,000 and go rejoin their home country, or maybe convince someone there, be like, hey, I will leave, just don't send me to my home country, send me here instead, and then I'll leave. You could potentially, and I'm sure there could be a good amount of cases that would take that deal.
Maybe these protesters are actually helping out our cause, because it is so freaking embarrassing if I was an illegal
I hear the UK is extremely welcoming to foreigners.
alien. I'd be like, get me the hell out of this disgusting, disturbing country. Now, as I'm sure you guys expected, the comments under these videos, I mean, chef's kiss. Chef Andrew Gruel, who's one of my favorites, he said EPA put out an advisory due to the smell in Portland. People thought it was a red tide or decomposing sea life. But no, it was just hairy armpits and genitalia swinging through the streets. Bet you didn't think you would hear me say that this morning. Somebody else said, why is nudity important? Quote, I disagree with what's happening to illegal aliens. Gaze upon my genitalia. Some attempt at being European. Basically, when we fought that war years ago, we do not want to be part of that. The French women swinging their tits in the streets, protesting God knows what. We don't want that. We are Americans. We throw tea in the water. We are better than that. Our protests are classy. They should be. They're not, apparently. But I do, like, it is a good question. Like, is their angle that they are going to be so grotesque and so inflammatory and shocking that the nudity will make Trump and the Trump admin like change course. Like Trump's gonna log on to X or Truth Social and see one of these videos and go, oh my God, I'm blinded.
I mean, that's how all of us feel, but when Trump logs on and if he sees that, he's going to be, well, damn, I need to triple the amount of National Guards we got there. Maybe even quadruple. Maybe might even need to send in the army or just, I'll show an image of what he probably thinks he should do.
The deportations, like, is that what you think is happening? That is the only rationality that I can think of. Somebody else commented and said, how Antifa thinks they look, how Antifa actually looks. Yes. Yes. There's no better way to put it. Somebody else said, it is never anyone you'd like to see nude who feels the need to expose themselves publicly. Yeah, I did not see an attractive body in the midst. That's why I thought they were arresting, because they needed the break. Someone else said, do you think if there was a Get Naked for Trump rally, they would still show up? I had to stop and think about that for a whopping 3 seconds. But
this is probably what Trump wanted to do. Just fly one of these over the street and just carpet bomb the entire
these types of
area.
They're more about
wipe every single protester out. I bet she contemplated that decision and ultimately chose not to do it because he's a man of peace. He just was probably horrified by the thought of, or the sight of so much nudity all at once. And he's like, we need to get rid of these. No. Logical brain. Ignore them. They might go away.
The virtue signaling act of protesting and the attention seeking nakedness and the actual cause that they are fighting for. They don't care whether they are doing a naked bike ride for the climate. They don't care whether they're doing a naked lie-in for ICE. They don't really care what the cause is. They just want to be fighting for a cause and they want to be naked doing it. And so if it was, hey, come out and be naked for Trump, they probably wouldn't even read the for Trump part. They'd be like, great, they're like already halfway.
Come out and be naked for Trump. What? Oh man, we're already nude.
He is always on the ground reporting on Antifa. He summed up that fact in a recent tweet where he said that the biking groups that he has covered now for years in Portland, that they are
extremely woke
and misinformed. So they have no idea
of leftist extremism
in the world or what.
And like I've said before, extremism on either side is bad. We do not need an extreme right. We do not need an extreme left. Both sides are very bad. We need to have a lot of people who are more moderate in the middle, sitting, you agree this way, you agree that way. If you this way gets the point, but you agreed that way, you don't go out and fight for it, You don't have to get violent because you didn't get your way. Just try to vote the other way in the next time. See if it gets changed. Write to your Congress people. Try to get things adjusted. Probably a lot fewer people who write into those congressmen and women than we think there is.
They are protesting, but they are showing up. They are showing up for the cause, whatever it is, and they are showing up naked. But you know what, guys? I should stop putting words in their mouth. I should stop speaking for them. Let's
let them speak
out in their own words. So this is an excerpt from an NBC article about this protest. And one of the protesters says, quote, to be naked.
Yeah, never interrupt your enemy when they're kicking their own ass.
Is to be as vulnerable as you can be, said Elise, a Portland resident who asked that her last name not be used due to privacy concerns. That's what we're saying.
Aw, privacy concerns? You're not afraid, yet you want to be privacy, and yet you want the ICE agents to demask, but you want privacy? That's kind of weird. That seems like a double standard.
They're not afraid of ICE, therefore they're going to make us all look at their boobs. Quote, our politics are, let's care for each other and put that as the most important thing, says Miles Thompson, who was dressed up as a banana costume and carried a trumpet.
Quote, so now we know which one you are. We narrowed that down to a couple.
This profound thing, our politics is just to care for each other. That's the most important thing. He says that in a banana costume with a trumpet. Yeah, okay, well, let's show humanity to everyone except Trump supporters and everyone we disagree with. That's kind of how that works, right? Because there's an end to your humanity and your decency. We've seen that over the last 5 years, so let's just not pretend that it's anything else. Now, the article goes on. And this is just where the mainstream media just starts mainstream media-ing, if we want to put it that way.
They do that the best.
The article goes on and they write, the tense standoff betrayed what have been mostly peaceful protests characterized by inflatable costumes and, as of Sunday, nudity. Yes, inflatable costumes and nudity. That is what is representing left-wing protests right now. That is fantastic, but also mostly peaceful.
I don't know how any Democrat leader sees these protests and isn't immediately fucking embarrassed to high hell on it out of it. It's like, this is your voter base. Your voter base looks absolutely maniacally insane. They look like children. Overgrown children.
Are we still playing that game years later? You think that that can still fly, just saying something is mostly peaceful and not having anybody else look into it? Not seeing the myriad of clips and...
Nick Shirley being out there a couple weeks ago really showed the mostly peaceful. Right. The guy who literally was saying, you want to be the next Charlie Kirk? As he flashed a gun at him. Like, I'll kill you instead. And it's like, right-wingers as us, if we have to go out there and want to go be, interview any of the crowd, we have to fucking vest up, get all protected. Like, we don't want to get shot. And I mean, even the vest, you'll still get hit and you might still go down because it's going to hurt. You'll be alive unless they shoot you a bunch more or they realize, oh, you got a vest on, and then they aim for your head while you're on the ground. Like, it's only going to give you a few more seconds, but I wish there wasn't so much violence on the left.
Images online from the last 4 months in Portland, like, we know what has been going on. Like, yes, some of the nude bikers might only be violent in that they are assaulting our eyes, but other protesters have been actively aggressive and violent in Portland. And while you won't see that in the mainstream media, obviously, thank you NBC News, Ground News certainly is covering it. From mostly peaceful media bias to sealed documents, Hollywood cover-ups, and subscribe. GoodRanchers.com, let's get back to the table. Now, to get back to something that is less peaceful than family dinners with Good Ranchers, another thing that these protesters have been doing, these mostly peaceful protesters have been doing, instead of just assaulting us, assaulting our eyes, is that some of them organized a laser protest aimed at trying to crash federal ICE helicopters that are coming.
This one's fucking wild. Why would you do this? This is already a crime according to every single law, every president since helicopters have been a fucking thing. It's like, why would you do that? And welcome to my ADHD story time. My favorite helicopter story is the time the United States stole I believe it was a Russian Hind in the Vietnam War, or a Soviet Union Hind, however you want to pronounce it. And we took it back home to America, tore the fucker apart, and then realized, oh, it's a piece of shit. And we put it back together and stuck it in a museum.
Into Portland. Does that sound mostly peaceful to you, trying to crash a helicopter in your city? No, obviously not. Here is the poster for that. You are invited. Laser tag every night for...
Jesus, that image. How did that ever get made? Someone definitely made that at fucking home. And in that case, I need to know who designed it. Jeez, maybe Adobe having everybody's data and being able to see what you're making is a good thing. Jesus, you're having me advocate for fucking Adobe. Good fuck, leftists. You've really broken me today.
For weeks, we are forced to listen to the threatening rhythm of helicopter blades as the federal regime spies on us. The only limit power knows is our refusal to submit. This past Saturday, October 11th, you are invited to fight back. All you need is a laser. Leave home. They can see where the laser is coming from. Go to a park, a field, or some other public place, and once the clock strikes 9, unleash your beam at the copter. Mask up. Now let's take a look at this peaceful laser party. Here you go. And this was happening all around Portland on Saturday night. And the mainstream media and, representatives in Oregon and in Portland have the gall to then go on the news and publish articles and say, I don't know what the Trump administration is talking about. I don't know what people are saying on social media. Portland is so lovely. They'll post a photo of a park, an empty park at like 6 a.m. when nobody's there. They've cropped out the homeless people and they're going, oh my, it's so lovely here. There's nothing going on. Meanwhile, this dystopia, this apocalyptic scene was happening at 9 p.m. the night before. Now this...
Yeah, it's so crazy seeing these images because like the media used to be able to lie to our faces when everybody didn't have a freaking camera in their hand or pocket that they could pull out at any time and click record, just doop and go. And it's like when everybody has that, you can't lie to a population anymore that then, without just admitting you're being false. You're untruthful, you are a piece of shit, and well, you shouldn't be on the air anymore at that point if you're going to be lying to people. But when everybody's got a phone and anybody can record anything, we can see it with our own eyeballs. We can see the footage that's put on YouTube and recorded because it doesn't have to go through you anymore, mainstream media. Like, it's insane. Like, pointing a laser at a helicopter is a crime. I mean, there was someone who just got in trouble for that a couple weeks ago because they pointed it at a helicopter with the vice president on board. Like, excuse me, what are you doing? That is a crime.
Laser tag party did not result in any federal helicopters being grounded. In fact, the only thing that they ended up doing was keep medevac helicopters from being able to get to the hospitals in Portland, specifically OSHU, which is the only academic level 1 trauma center in the state. Just listen to that again. Because of their stupid laser tag party in the sky, medevac helicopters were forced to reroute and divert. They were not allowed to land at the state's only academic level 1 trauma center. And that is the only academic level 1. There is only one other level 1 trauma center in the entire state of Oregon. And these protesters, these, who care about humanity, that just care about other people, they caused that. And the mainstream media still has the gall to say that this was just mostly peaceful. So yeah, I would say it is very dishonest to claim that this is all mostly peaceful, especially when that was happening, and especially when there has been 4 months of violence in Portland leading up to this. Because Antifa and these protesters, they have been threatening ICE for months. They have been attacking them. They have been attacking the counter-protesters and journalists, and it has only increased since Trump threatened to bring in the National Guard to deploy them to Portland to clean up the city, like he very successfully did in Washington, D.C. Andy No also posted about this, and he said, as Antifa in Portland are having their comrades dressed in animal costumes to whitewash the serious violent attacks happening on the ICE facility, again, mostly peaceful. It's just animal costumes and nudity. Obese women.
That second one there, those 2 sentences are just, what the fuck? Antifa zip-tied all the doors and barricaded the building on June 11th, then attempted to set the place on fire while dozens of agents were still inside. What the actual fuck?
That's what he's saying. Here is a reminder of what they did. Antifa zipped all of the doors while dozens of agents were inside.
Yeah, I
Antifa
just
also
read
brought
that,
out
so.
bags of rocks to use as projectile weapons. They had rioters illegally stop and redirect drivers on the public road so that they could use the street as a staging ground for violence. And this was all part of discovery evidence that came out at the trial for the Portland woman who sued the city and the police for allowing the loud and riotous violence to continue for months.
Absolutely
now, on top
insane.
of that, outside of Portland, there has
also, at this point, Trump can't really do anything except use the Insurrection Act, take the government of Portland and Oregon down a notch, and, force the city to with some martial law for a little bit until they clean it the hell up with National Guard. It's like, that's the only way to fix the city, because if he leaves, it'll just tear itself apart, and they'll blame Trump for, oh, you abandoned us, you left us in our time of need. We needed you, so help us. When right now, that's the last thing they're asking for. It's like if all ICE agents and all federal help left, all federal funding just stopped, they would freak the fuck out immediately. But, because I think it would be much better just to do this with Portland, with Chicago, and a couple of the other wokey cities, LA too. We'll throw that one in there because they're always in the news for something negative these days. And, we'll have the Insurrection Act go forward, knock out these mayors, knock out maybe even a governor if we can get that far and push for that enough. Probably just the mayors, though. And then, have just law and order finally be established in these cities and have them finally know what peace and quiet is and not getting like 11 people killed in a weekend in Chicago or naked bike riders in Portland. It's like, what the hell is going on in the United States?
Been unprecedented violence against ICE. I mean, just a couple of weeks ago in Dallas, somebody fired into an ICE facility. They have been barricading ICE. They have been threatening them. Government officials have been on the news and on social media saying that we need to incite violence against ICE, saying that they are violent, that they are fascist. No wonder this is happening. And I say that just to remind you guys, because I know that it is easy to go on social media and you will see violent videos of, federal agents fighting back and going through these protesters, and you might not know, what happened prior to this.
Yeah, I'm so happy for body cams, because most of these agents do have one. And so if something were needed to come up, in probably 4 to 6 months, we might have a fuckload of body cam footage that we can just have of protesters getting arrested. It would be nice and fun to see some of it. Wouldn't it?
Spark this kind of response. People are being thrown to the ground. They're being arrested. I promise you, there is months and months of violence that has predated that behavior. We are in the find out stage of F around and find out. That is why you are seeing federal agents act in this way. That is why you are seeing protesters.
We need more federal agents in there.
Because federal agents are being threatened and they are being attacked. And again...
And most of them are fucking sick of it at this point. They're ready. They're ready for somebody to do the wrong thing. And so they can escalate. They are waiting. Trust me. And you don't want them to if you're a protester. If you're one of these stupid protesters and you've made it this far in the video without clicking off and quitting partway through, I actually kind of applaud you for making it here. But if you're one of those protesters, it's like, what the hell are you doing? Just step back, let the agents do their jobs, or you're going to get hurt because somebody else in your protest group brings a gun out to the protest and kills an agent or something. Once that happens, the gloves will come off and you will unleash a much, much more strict fighting force.
All of this goes back to ICE. All of it goes back to mass deportations, which I think a lot of us Trump voters knew was probably going to be the biggest point of contention in Trump's second term. But
we all knew it. I mean, there are some of the other influencers the podcasters who had him on, and, I think they're denying some of that, that's not what I voted for, just to calm down so they aren't a target. They don't want to be the next Charlie Kirk. They don't want to be killed. It would be horrible to see any of these creators get killed that way. There's a reason Steven Crowder doesn't announce where he's going to go on tour. He just kind of makes a little post, shows up real quick after it, gets a little crowd going, and then by the time people are showing up, it's time to pack up and leave because it's been long enough and you can't stay there too long or someone might kill you. I'll come out, I'll debate anyone who wants me to. However, I'm not as good as Charlie Kirk, but also I will come out and do it because it's what he would have wanted.
Antifa, unfortunately, is not the only group who is angry with Trump's Department of Homeland Security. Many Trump voters, even the podcasters who elevated and endorsed Trump during his campaign,
they all are. They're all going hey, this isn't what I voted for, even though repeatedly Trump is the most consistent president ever. He said it repeatedly. Yes, we're going to launch the largest deportation campaign in American history. And, they did say they're going to be going after criminals, but when sanctuary cities let those criminals out into the community, ICE has to get the warrant, go out in the community and get them because, you couldn't just put them in the jail and let ICE go pick them up in the jail peacefully. And now, instead of just getting a criminal, they're getting your uncle who's been here for years and years, hasn't ever committed a crime except for entering the country illegally. And all of a sudden, ICE is picking him up too because he hung out with the criminal guy. Oh well.
Because of ICE. Because they're seeing these videos on social media.
Guess that'll happen.
Protesters be dragged out of the streets. They're seeing people be thrown into vans and deported, and they are uncomfortable. They're uncomfortable with what mass deportations actually means on a realistic level. What that actually means in
It's making America America again.
Practice. And in a recent episode of the show, Joe Rogan even said this,
fantastic.
And I think we need to talk about it.
This is the Rogan clip I've played before.
Thing. The way it looks is horrific.
I got another video that's got all this related. This one, the Theo Von, and a couple other things around that too. Go check that one out. It's fun.
When you're just arresting people in front of their kids and just normal, regular people that have been here for 20 years, that everybody who has a heart can't get along with that.
No.
I guess I don't have a heart because I can get along with that.
That can't be right. That can't be right. That can't be the only way to do this.
Right.
Because you have to think, look, yeah, we have to have a border. Yes, it should have been secure. Yes, they should make sure you know who everybody is before they get in.
Yeah.
But when people been here for 20 years,
they should have gotten citizenship in those 20 years. In fact, to me, the longer you are here, the more insulting it is, because you've been here for that amount of time without being documented, without paying any taxes to the government outside of, sales tax on the things you buy because you're trying to blend in. Outside of that, you've just done the bare fucking minimum. You may have never paid any taxes at all for anything like from income tax or anything like that. You are obviously having to live somewhere, so you're taking a house from someone who could be renting that instead, a low-income family, a single mother with her kids who is struggling super hard. It's like, it hurts everybody keeping you and the illegal immigrants here longer than just getting them deported immediately.
Come on, man. That's crazy. Let's find a way. If they've been productive members of society for 20 years.
If you've been here 20 years, you should have become a citizen within those 20 years. You had 20 years to do simple searches and figure it out. It's like, we got libraries you could have gone to for free, gone and gotten a little library card, filled out a little information, and you la-di-da, you could log into their computer, type in a few little things, and look up, how do I gain my citizenship? I'm already in the U.S. I'm this. And then you're plugging in the info, and you're getting to the point where you're like, yes, I can totally do these steps and become a legal citizen and not risk being fucking deported like the rest of these idiots who didn't. Like, I don't get it.
No criminal record. They worked the entire time.
Yeah.
They paid taxes. Find them a pathway.
They don't pay taxes.
So I just want to respond to Rogan here because I genuinely feel like he is smarter than this. He obviously is smarter than this.
Yeah, he should be.
Toxic empathy speaking.
It's one of those where you wonder if he was super high before he filmed that one or something. Maybe he was a little fried and not thinking straight for it. Because honestly, you get some good enough weed, you might forget some things.
His emotions speaking, and obviously, anybody with any kind of heart is going to have part of them that feels a tinge of discomfort or empathy when they watch these types of videos, when they know what is happening with ICE on a day-to-day level. What is
Families can always be deported together, as Tom Homan says.
happening when they are going into cities and they are deporting people? But guys, this is what we voted for. There are articles that are coming out now where these podcasters are saying, like, this isn't what I voted for. I'm sorry. What did you think
Were you listening?
mass deportations was? This was something that was spoken about every single day. Everybody was in favor of, basically securing our border and cleaning out our country. Like, that's
what
just a very
his
matter-of-fact way to say it.
big
but
part
we
of
were
his
in favor of
campaign
this.
was.
This is something that Trump talked about on a day-to-day basis. This is what we voted for.
Yeah, he talked about it, I think, every single day that he went and did a rally, which was sometimes 2 or 3 a day. That man never stopped working. I don't know when he sleeps.
And I would just pose the question, like, is there a different way to do this? Do you have another solution that you would believe?
Like, whatever he has that allows him to just kick back and nap anytime it's convenient. I want that superpower.
Is more humane, that would have more heart in it? Do you have another way to shut down our border and make sure that we remove people that are here illegally, that are draining our resources and often harming innocent American legal citizens? Like, I'm sorry, but these individuals, they had the ability to self-deport when Trump went into office. He did not just start
They still can self-deport.
going into cities and pulling people out of their homes and pulling them out of Home Depot parking lots. No, he said, here's an app. You have 30 days, however long, you can go self-deport. If you know that you were here legally, you can go on out, you can deport yourself. But
You still can. There's no time limit on that app. You can just download it and remove yourself from the country. and you'll get paid on your return to your home country $1,000 US equivalent. It's like, there you go. Now you've got money to set yourself up. Now if you just sell anything you have here, then you have even more money. You're good. You're good to go. Go home. Leave. We don't want you here.
A lot of people didn't do that. They didn't do it. And so now, because we gave him a mandate, because he ran on mass deportations, he is forced to do something else. And you're talking about people who have been here for 20 plus years. I mean, if they didn't become legal then why now? They had 20 years. And just because, I think this is
I love it. I fully agree with Brett here. I'm so glad we both say the same thing.
Just because they have been successful in doing something illegal for 20 years does not mean that they now, 20 years later, get to avoid the responsibilities or consequences because somebody is in charge who wants to handle the situation. Like, that is not how the world works. You did not get to commit a crime 20 years ago, and because they didn't catch you, it doesn't mean that now you don't have to face the consequences. That simply is not how the world works. And yes, obviously, like I said, it's going to feel uncomfortable. This is going.
Not really. I can watch you go away. I can watch you voluntarily take yourself out, and we can have the heart to say goodbye. I hope you can come back legally someday. Rather than you're being thrown in a van, and then you're going to have a nice little plane ride out of here. And then we'll just dump your ass somewhere and say bye. And never come back at that second option. The first option, you self-deport. You have an opportunity to come back. Like, that's generous.
To make people's heart hurt.
That's generous as fuck.
Torn apart when people have to deport and go home. And it sucks that many people did come into this country illegally under presidents who didn't care and left our borders wide open. It sucks that they paid taxes and created a life in a country and are now having to go home and be deported, but this is
most of them don't pay taxes other than like sales tax.
Again, it is also what Donald Trump ran on. And the lack of security and permanency that these illegal aliens are facing is what they signed up for when they came here illegally. They should have known that that was the case. Every other country around the world has incredibly strict immigration laws. Way stricter than ours.
Not every country.
You don't just get to show up in Hungary and go, oh,
you can show up to the UK.
Oh, well, I'm just going to stay. No! You will get removed. You will get kicked out. It is only in America in the past 20 years or so when you have been able to just hop over a wall and show up and use our resources and be able to stay as long as you want.
Well, until about the last 8. Not over a wall, just over a border.
But those days are over. We are getting back on track. And so I guess my gentle question would be like, what did you think mass deportations was going to look like? Like vibes? That's the joke that everybody says. Like, did you think mass deportations was just like vibes and essays? Like, that was
no, we were doing it to get rid of them.
Delivering on every single day. One that much of his base wishes that he was actually being even more aggressive on.
I am one of those who wishes he was more aggressive on it. 'Cause there's a lot of them here, and if every single illegal immigrant was out of this country, I think home prices, or at least rent prices, could drop by 25 to 30%.
Like, genuinely, did you think the deportations were just like fluffy rainbows? Were just
maybe
like an
even
idea?
more?
Because based on every opportunity that he has given people to self-deport, I actually think that his team has done all of this in an incredibly humane way.
And I have heard of 0 people who were deported wrongly. And I'm not including Kilmar Abrego Garcia because the only wrong part of his deportation was that he didn't want to go back to the country he left. He was here illegally. He was supposed to be removed. He had a removal order for years and years and years, and no one hooked up on it. And he was also abusing his wife. He was trafficking people in and out of across state lines into the country. He wasn't necessarily that great of a guy, and his removal request to not be removed to his home country was just due to rival gangs. So that means he's in a gang that doesn't like his gang, wanted him dead maybe. And so yeah, he's a gang member. Easy as that. He should be removed and sent back home. Don't care if a rival gang would have killed you when you left. Those gangs don't exist anymore.
And he's not the only president, certainly not the only Republican that has done mass deportation. So let's be consistent here. Let's be honest about.
I mean, at this moment in Trump's term, Obama has deported more than double the amount of what Trump had
what we voted
did.
for, unless
So,
the fact maybe you didn't really consider.
Don't worry
what
about it
actually
yet.
Going to look like. And meanwhile, the opposite side of the aisle is shooting into ICE facilities, shooting at federal agents who are just trying to do their jobs, setting buildings on fire, trying to crash innocent helicopters, and worst of all, making us look at their obese, fat tits. So I'm...
Yep, out of everything there, the left is being terrible. The left sucks right now. And I just wish they'd stop. They just need to cut all that shit out. That shit is gross.
Sorry, but I personally know what side of the issue I would rather be on.
Yeah. But to leave that here, thank you so much for watching. If you're still here at the end, smash my like button, smash her like button, and let's hit the subscribe buttons and the bells and get on out of here. You crazy people. I'll see you later.